Hey guys, what's up? So I'm going in for my consultation for laser hair removal for my facial hair today. Luckily, I was able to get permission to film and upload and post the consultation so that you guys will have an idea of what to expect. Alright, let's go!
So, again, today what we're doing is we're just going over the do's and the don'ts. There's lots of counterindications. People don't know how to prep the areas, and so that's why we do this part of it. A lot of places, they don't do this. You just come on in and get treated. Well, we were doing that in the beginning, but we were ending up kind of booting people out of here left and right because they'd come in, they didn't shave the areas, they were on antibiotics, all kinds of stuff. So we started doing this. It seemed to fix 99% of it. That's primarily what we're doing right now. What areas are you going to have treated? What is she going to be working on?
My facial hair.
Okay. You can add anything you want through us. So if you're, if you're happy with the face and you want to add something, go for it. It's totally up to you.
Yeah, eventually I would want to add my chest because hormones do thin out the growth on the chest, but it still
there.
is there. Yeah, it's like it's no longer covering the entire chest area.
Right.
It's just in the middle, and it's not as black or thick as it used to be, but it's
Gotcha.
still there.
Okay. Yeah, no, I mean, and this stuff does a really great job. I mean, it gets rid of hair follicles, like in a hurry. So basically that's what we're going to do first. I'm just going to kind of tell you how this stuff works, in case you're not totally familiar with the process. That's part of the other thing too. A lot of people just don't understand how often they have to come and how the whole thing works. So
I do have another odd question though before we get going about other areas.
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone's ever asked you this before.
Oh, trust me, I've been asked everything. I've been asked everything.
But so, like whenever the actual gender reassignment surgery is being done for transgender people, the skin of the scrotum is used to form the labia.
Right.
So obviously people want to have the hair removed from there.
Yeah.
Is laser treatment an option for that kind of removal?
Typically that's the one area we don't do. Only reason being is that the skin is so thin and these machines give off quite a little bit of heat. It's just one area that's typically not recommended.
Right.
Some people come back after the surgery and then at that point take a look at it and try and figure it out from there. You can also do electrolysis, which is using electricity to get down in there and kill the hair follicle. We do that as well. And so sometimes we'll kind of mix it up between the two.
Right.
But generally speaking, laser hair removal is not
Not an option.
recommended for
that
the
area.
scrotum. No, it's not. I mean, we do full Brazilians and the whole 9 yards, and we'll do every other bit of it. We just don't do right on the scrotum for that very reason, just because the skin is just so thin. The hair follicle's so close to the surface, we don't usually do that.
Is electrolysis a better option for that area?
I would think it probably would be. It's just a little more tedious.
Right.
The beauty of laser hair removal, it covers a lot of ground and like really quickly.
Right.
You're done. Electrolysis, they're using a little probe and hitting every single hair follicle. It's tedious. It takes time.
Okay.
But at any rate, usually what we do is we say, have the surgery done, take a look, come back and take a look at it, because they don't necessarily always use every bit of it and whatnot. So
that's a really good
usually
point
say, come
too.
back and then we'll take a look at it and then try and figure out what's going to be the best option for you at that point.
Okay.
So back to the basics of this stuff. So laser hair removal, it's come a long way since the late 80s, early 90s when it really first became popular. The machines have come a long way. Process remains the same, which is that all the hairs in your body go through 3 phases of hair growth, and all of these machines only work on one of them, which is why it takes a series of visits. You have to kind of try and catch all these hairs in the one phase that they work in, which is hair in the follicle poking out of the skin. Targets pigment, travels down that hair shaft, disables your hair follicle from producing any more hair. Second phase of hair growth, your hair's out of the follicles. Got this one all day long, you're not touching your hair follicle. Third phase, your hair's sloughing up, another one's coming up, zap that one all day long, you're not touching it. That being said, we can't tell when hairs are in the follicle, and they're all in those 3 different phases all the time. But they've done studies on this stuff, and they figured it out. They know exactly how many times I would have to zap this one hair right here, and how often I would need to do it to catch that thing in the follicle. So generally speaking, the standard is 6 to 8 visits every 4 to 6 weeks. Packages are all 6. I don't know where that started, but somewhere along the line, eons ago, now everywhere you go, packages are 6. That's part of the reason why we can no longer call this stuff permanent hair removal. There's really 2 reasons. Hormones are one of them. They can cause your body to sprout brand new hair follicles, so even if you get rid of all of them, your body can make new ones. And then lastly, because you're probably not going to catch every darn hair in the follicle in 6 visits.
Right.
So we're not allowed to call it permanent anymore. But this stuff does a really good job of getting rid of a majority, if not all, of the hairs in the area that you're working in. So in 6 visits, most people get rid of anywhere from 95 to 98% of the hair's in there. They think all their hair is gone. You still have a couple there probably that you can't quite make out. Shaving only from here on out in the areas that are being treated. No plucking, no waxing, no tweezing. When you do that, you're ripping the hair out of the follicle, messes up those 3 phases of hair growth, kind of sets the whole system off.
Right.
So all you can do is shave. She's going to want you to shave the day you're coming in, so make sure you shave the day you're coming in. In between visits, you can do whatever you want as far as how often you shave, but that day you want to shave. I'm assuming it's your face. You're probably shaving every day anyways.
It's actually one of the things with hormone therapy, it doesn't grow fast enough to shave every day.
So how often are you shaving now?
I shave it every other day.
Okay, well that's kind of nice. At least you get a break one day in between, right?
This is actually me shaving yesterday.
Okay, cool. Well, that's not bad.
Yeah.
But you want to make sure that day you shave. The reason being is that it superheats that hair as it shoots down in there. If it's sticking up too far and she uses the glass window handpiece, it can lay it against you and possibly burn you.
Right.
So you want it right down to the skin. So that day, make sure you shave.
Gotcha.
Contraindications for this stuff, super safe nowadays. Odds of getting burnt or hurt by these machines are pretty darn slim. It still can happen though. Most of the reasons you end up getting hurt from these machines tend to be things that you do before you come in and after you leave that are unforeseeable to us. That's why you sign your life away in here, because I don't know what you're doing. I have no clue. And so I'm going to rattle off the couple things that will get you in trouble, and I just have to hope you can avoid them. Of course, we're going to quiz you every time you come in on this stuff anyways. We're paranoid, but this is what you have to watch out for the most part. Antibiotics, #1 photosensitizing medication out there. We cannot touch take them by looking at you. If you get put on antibiotics, you're going to get sick. Usually they'll put you on like a 10-day round of antibiotics. You're coming every 6 weeks, so there's a month and a half in between there. A lot can happen in a month and a half. So just make sure you're not on them. We want you off them for at least 2 weeks before you come and get treated. If you come in and you roll the dice and we treat you, you can possibly burn. The day you're coming in, no lotions, potions, makeup, anything in any of the areas that are being treated. These machines still give off a little bit of heat. They can heat up an oil-based skincare product, and that could possibly get you.
Right.
As far as the face goes, tretinoin and retinoids from your dermatologist are also photosensitizing. You don't want to be using those. Any kind of acne medications, we don't know if you're on those before you come to get this stuff done. Topical tanners are a no-no. Tanning beds are a no-no while you're doing this. And then lastly, the sun is a contraindication.
Right.
So that's one of the biggest problems we run into, obviously down here in Florida, is the sun, because you're coming, even though it's wintertime now, it's going to be, you're coming every 6 visits you're coming all the way into the summer months.
Right.
So the trick of it is, some places will tell you 2 weeks, some places will tell you 10 days. We say 7 to 10 days. So 7 to 10 days before your appointment, you do not want to get pink or burnt in the area that you're treating.
Okay.
7 to 10 days after your appointment, you do not want to get pink or burnt in the areas that you're treating. So I mean, 20 days of each month, you have to be cautious with the sun. Reason being is that when you get pink from the sun, that's activating the melanin in your skin. And these machines are seeking out melanin in your hair. It could possibly have an issue with that.
Right.
She would have to be blindfolded. We've been doing this stuff for a long time. She's just going to send you home. You're not going to get treated. But when you leave here, you are highly photosensitive. What does that mean? That means that if you were to get enough direct sunlight in the areas that she treated, again, within about 7 to 10 days, because you're the most sensitive the minute you walk out the door and it tapers, so we're primarily concerned with that first moment when you walk out the door. It can pull pigment to the surface. You could get dark spots in the shape of her zapping you like a checkerboard. It can stick around for 2-3 months. It's not a good look. You don't want that. So just don't get burnt in the sun a week before you get here or a week after you leave, and you'll be fine.
Probably wear a bandana over my face.
Just, what I would tell you, what I tell most people to do is just like get some sunscreen and wear it. Just put it on. Like, a week before your appointment, just put sunscreen on every day. Get like a good 30 to 50 SPF and just put it on every day. You can't go wrong. And then after you leave here, put it on again and do it. And if you're going to be outdoors, put it on every couple hours. Keep it in your pocket and just kind of keep it nearby. So, after that first 10 days, though, then you have close to a month. You have a month where you don't have to do anything. You don't have to worry about it.
Right.
But then, whammo, again, you got to remember, okay, my appointment's in about 10 days. Let me go ahead and start putting on some sunscreen again. Don't let me get burnt in the sun, that kind of stuff. You're going to feel it.
Yeah.
It feels like someone's kind of putting a hot poker against you. It's not that bad these days, though. We use an 810 diode laser. It's a lecture duet by Luminous. It's a gold standard for hair removal. Works really, really well. And they've got built-in comfort systems, basically. Like, there's 2 hand pieces. One's a small spot size. It's a 9mm and it has a chill tip on it. It's freezing cold. Feels like someone's putting an ice cube against you. And then the larger spot size uses a vacuum. It kind of sucks the skin up in and then zaps it, and that kind of takes the pain away as well. With the face, she'll kind of mix it up. She'll kind of use a little bit of the larger one out here in the open areas, and then where it's kind of rounded around your jawline, she can't get it to get suction. She'll use a smaller spot size and kind of hit all those areas, but it's quick. She'll be able to do your whole face in probably like 8 minutes. It's fast.
Oh, wow.
Bye. It's quick. It's quick. And that's pretty much it. Any questions, anything you think of?
No, you're very thorough.
I do this a lot. And if anything ever happens, call us and let us know. because weird things can happen as far as people having reactions to this stuff. And in the past, you know, the couple people have had a problem with it. They waited a month and a half later when they came in and were like, oh yeah, by the way, you know, I went out, and it's odd stuff. We had one lady that was driving due east for 5 hours. It went through the window and got her face. And another person was down here at Dharma Blue eating out under an umbrella and had her legs done. The umbrella covered everything but like from here down.
Oh.
So I mean, you know, stuff can happen, but if anything ever happens, just call us and let us know, because there are things, scripts that we can write for you, and things that we can do to kind of minimize all of it if anything ever happens. So just let us know. And I think that's it. You're set to go. They'll get you scheduled up front. Next time you come in, you get treated. And like I said, at any point in time, if you want to add anything, just let them know. And that's it. We'll see if we can get rid of some hair for you. Facial hair is the most stubborn hair you have, though, just FYI.
Yes.
Most stubborn hair you have. We do a lot of faces for, actually, military. We get a lot of guys in the military that get yelled at for having a shadow during the middle of the day. And these are career military folks, and they're like, I can't have this facial hair growing like this. You know, can you get rid of it? And it's really stubborn, deep hormonal hair, facial hair, both men and women. It's the most hormonal, thick hair you have.
That's one of the big difficulties I personally ran into being a transgender woman is that, like, my facial hair in particular is very dark and very thick, and so even the hormones have slowed it down and thinned it out, but it's only just a little bit. And just mine is so bad that even when I would, like, if I would do a full shave and, like, with and against the grain, you can't feel a thing at all. The shadow would still be so dark that if I would even, like, take a selfie without orange concealer and then foundation on my face, people would, even other, like, transgender women would bitch at me about it, being like, you're giving us a bad name by walking around without shaving. And I'm like, I shaved. Yeah. Believe me.
It's just the ethnicity somewhere down the front line there. You guys got some hair going on, you know, so it's real dense and packed
Latina,
together.
it happens.
There you go. There you go. That does it. So, you know, the ups and the downs. But yeah, this stuff works really, really well. So, you know, we'll do the round of 6 visits on it and then take a look. And at that point, you know, if you need to add any more, we let you continue at the Groupon rate. We don't raise it up on you. So if you need to add a few more to kind of get you to the finish line, you know, you can do that. We say do the 6 and then look in the mirror and ask yourself, where am I at? I mean, has it gotten rid of, am I happy with where I'm at, or do I need to do a couple more? Because again, there's no rhyme or reason to how many hairs are in the follicle on each visit. So it's not like it's going to eat. You could have 2% of the hairs in the follicle on the first visit. You're not going to notice a 2% hair reduction. And then the second visit, you could have 80% of the hairs in there. And the third visit, you could have 1% of them in there. And the fourth visit, you could have 3% of them. So the hope is that by the end of the 6, we've gotten most of them. But don't look in the mirror after each visit going, oh gosh, you know, because we've had some people where they come for one visit and they come back and go, oh my God, do I even need to keep doing this? All my hair's gone. Like 90% of their hairs must have been in the follicle the first visit. So there's just no rhyme or reason to it. You just have to go through the process and then ask yourself, am I happy with where I'm at? And if you're not, then just keep going.
I think that was my friend Catherine. Most of hers is like gone, and I think she's only been for like 1 treatment.
Yeah. Now because you are the hair's a little denser and thicker and every other darn thing. Of course, my mind is telling me, well, you might need a couple more, but you know, you'll just have to wait and see how it goes. I would just tell you to do the 6 and then go from there, and you know, if you need more, you need it.
That'll work. Now, if I do decide like to do my chest, also, can I be doing that concurrently?
Oh yeah, okay. We do whole bodies in one swoop.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you can do whatever you want to do. Just they'll ask you to pay for it up front because they're going to block the time off for you. And then that way they know how much time she's going to need to actually treat those areas. And then, you come in and they just go ahead and do it all in one swoop.
All right.
And just keep in mind, if you add any more halfway through, you're just going to keep coming for the rest of your life. Not that we don't mind you coming, but it's going to be, you know, an additional. So if you do 3 visits and then go, gosh, yeah, I want to add my chest, you're going to be coming for 3 more additional visits on the back end of when you're done with your face.
It's definitely something that I will end up doing. It's just a matter of when I can afford to add it on.
Yeah.
But with that Groupon rate, it's really not bad.
No, we're the only place in town that's ever done a Groupon hair removal, and most of the other establishments around here don't necessarily care too much for that, but that's okay though.
Your rate with that is awesome, and I have to say, already in the Pensacola transgender community, the word is spreading that this is the place for us to come, and I will definitely continue that.
Awesome, man. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. It's so nice to meet you.
Thank you. Nice to meet you too.
All right. They'll get you scheduled up front. Next time you come in, you get treated.